18 tiny crown and sandals. I don't remember having said, anything you can do, I can do better, but as a child I have been known to show off. Anything you can do for Baba, I can do it too. And I did. Look how I made a crown and sandals for Baba, just as Mehera and her companions had done. You have seen the beautiful crown and sandals and robe and garland in the museum room on Meherabad Hill. Well, Mehera and her companions made them, with gold threads and silks from the rich saris they had brought with them from home when they joined Baba. There were also crowns and sandals made with flowers. I helped by going around picking flowers from the milkweed bushes growing wild at Meherabad. Mehera would spend an hour crafting a crown of flowers which her beloved would wear for a minute. I was about 8 years old. Sitting beside Mehera, I'd watch her fingers deftly stitch a design she had drawn for a crown or sandals. And I would feel her total absorption in Baba while she worked. I have felt this same absorption in everything she did for Baba. Whether she was preparing a glass of water for Baba to drink or making a crown for Baba to wear, her heart's total absorption in Baba made her every act a meditation. While Mehera worked on a crown, I'd hand her the scissors or join in looking for a lost needle, and she would let me believe I was really helping her. But helping wasn't enough. I was going to make my very own crown and sandals for Baba, all by myself. And I did. I kept thinking of how I was going to do it. As soon as I got back to Pune, I took all the pocket money I had been saving and went to a little shop run by a Parsi family named Kambatta. They sold golden threads and sequins and all kinds of shiny stuff for embroidering sari borders and purses and things. In that narrow shop there were 2 rows of showcases. With my nose pressed against the glass, I glided past each one, inspecting every little item in there. I stopped when I came to some fancy canvas strips, adorned with sequins and flowers and attached to bands of elastic. I was told they were for a lady's garter. This was the answer. I took the prettiest one home, along with some spare sequins, and set to work. For the crown, all I did was cut off the elastic and sew the ends together to form a circle. The sandals were more difficult. It took me a long time to cut some cardboard in the shape of soles, on which I sewed strips of shiny sequins. There. It was done. Baba's kid sister had made him a crown and a pair of sandals. Even if they were so very small, it didn't seem odd to me. In a child's dream, a pebble is a castle. I felt so pleased and proud of my achievement that I could hardly bear to wait for my holidays when I'd be with him again. At last the time came. I was at Meherabad. As soon as Baba was seated among his women Mandali, I brought out my creation and offered it to him, trying not to look excited. Baba held the crown and sandals in his palms, and stretched out his hands for Mehera and all to behold. His face was alight with joy and wonderment at this incredible work of art I had presented to him. He lifted that tiny crown and placed it on his head. Then he put on the sandals, which could only fit on his littlest toes. There were gasps of admiration from everyone. Just imagine, the King of Kings with a child-made crown on his head and child-made sandals on his little toes, reclining on the gadi with his legs stretched out. He called me over and hugged me. Once again he made me feel great. He had accepted my gift in the way only he could. Only Baba's universal heart could have accepted the imperfect gift of a child as totally and perfectly as he did. These are my hands holding the tiny crown and sandals. But when I close my eyes, I can see them on the palms of Baba's beautiful hands, as he held them and admired them many decades ago.